Today, we are talking about Tim Ferris's brand new book, Tribe of Mentors. This new book is a collection of interviews and advice from over 100 mentors who are the best at what they do. So we're gonna go over my favorite pieces of advice from a few of the mentors in this book. Let's get started with Gary Vaynerchuk. One of the best pieces of advice that I got from him is the idea of micro versus macro. He says that many people worry more about what will happen in the next few years, but do not pay attention to what they're doing right now. Gary says to have macro patience and micro speed, meaning be patient for the long term, but move fast in your day-to-day activities. I mean, how many people do you know that plan to do amazing things in the next 5 years, but spend their time watching TV shows? Let's move to our next mentor, Ray Dalio, founder of the largest hedge fund in the world. He is worth a whopping $17 billion. He tells us that his most recent investment under $100 was a pocket notepad. This way, he can write his ideas down as soon as they come to him, which shows the importance of writing things down. I personally forget things if I don't write them down. He also advises people to love looking at your mistakes and your weaknesses because understanding them is essential for making the most out of life. Another mentor, Robert Rodriguez, a director and screenwriter who directed movies like the Spy Kids franchise, From Dusk Till Dawn, and many others, gives us a great strategy to deal with distractions. He says that whenever he's working on a task, especially if it's not a very desirable task, he says he would normally get distracted with new thoughts and ideas in the middle of his task. And then he goes and starts a new task without finishing the first one, because he is afraid he'll forget. And I'm sure this happens to many people too. And the strategy he uses is to have a separate piece of paper next to him when he is working. And if a new idea or solution of a problem pops up in his mind, he simply writes it down for him to look at later. And now he is not stressed about forgetting this new idea. Steve Aoki is in this book, and this guy is one of my favorites. If you haven't seen his documentary on Netflix, I highly recommend it. This guy is a true hustler when sometimes he performs in 5 countries in 2 days. And he says that his best investment under $100 is the eye mask sleep, which is a mask for you to sleep. Since he has a really crazy schedule, he needs to sneak some sleep between shows and interviews. He lives by the quote that says, "By any means necessary," from Malcolm X. So no matter what he does, he will do anything in his power to make it happen. He says that when he is feeling unfocused or just seems like he's hitting a wall, he will just leave the space and change the environment in order to reset. As he says, this will help you find flow, and when you're in a state of flow, you can accomplish anything. The next mentor is Strauss, the author of the book The Game, Infiltrating the Secret Society of Pickup Artists, The Truth, a book about relationships, and co-authored with Kevin Hart on his bestseller book. This guy is one of my favorite mentors here because I became obsessed with the psychology of attraction about 5 years ago. While in this book he doesn't give seduction strategies, he tells us what he learned as a writer. He says that his favorite failure was not being accepted into journalism school because he was able to get a job at the New York Times and learn from experience instead of academics, and be able to perform his craft by passion instead of quote-unquote how it's supposed to be done. When it comes to feeling overwhelmed and unfocused, he has a very specific set of philosophies. He says that feeling overwhelmed is about mentality management for the things that are coming outside of yourself, and feeling unfocused is about mentality management for what is happening inside of you. And he says that for either one, you should think of your brain as a computer. When your memory is full, you just need to shut down. This means stepping away from your work, take a cold shower, meditation, doing something you enjoy, or talking to someone you like. Basically, anything that takes you out of your mind into your body is good for your mind. Tim McGraw, the country singer with a very successful career, appears in this book. He says that focus or lack of focus is the single thing that prevents success for many people. And the way he regains his focus is through exercise. He says that physical activity clears his mind and helps him focus a lot easier. These are just some of the mentors in this book. I am really excited for you guys to check out this book because you're getting the thoughts and the mindset of over 100 very successful people. I do want to give a big thanks to the marketing team of this book for the early access to the book. I am very humbled to be able to give you guys an early peek of what the book is all about. The book is coming out tomorrow, November 21st, but you can pre-order the book to be one of the first people to get it. And I got the link in the description of this video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.